Welcome to the Macros for Life podcast, where we talk all things macros, business, and marriage. We're your hosts, Eve and Randall Guzman. Visit our website at www.gtransformationacademy.com, where you can download our free How to Track Macros guide. This guide has helped over 15,000 people start their macro tracking journey. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Macros for Life podcast. For the second time, we have our daughter Daisia with us. Today, we're going to be talking about her life and what it's like being fit and living the fit life as a 20-something-year-old.
In college.
Say
hi.
Hi.
So tell us about you.
Hi, my name is Daisia. I'm 21. I'm in college. I go to IU. I'm studying exercise science on a pre-physical therapy track. And yeah, I don't know. What else?
Living the life senior year.
Yeah, I'm a senior. So
senior.
you guys want to send me any gifts, send them to my mom's P.O. box.
Oh,
for
yeah.
graduation.
If y'all want our P.O. box and you want to send her anything for graduation, because she is also one of the podcast managers for this podcast, just let us know. But this probably give us a little chance to show our appreciation of how much we love her and respect the decision that she made to stay in the state of Indiana when we moved to Florida almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And has been holding it down, paying her own bills, has an apartment, all of that. And so we're going to talk about what her life is like as a 20-something in college, not living at home, not in a dorm, legal, 21.
Legally, my name's on the apartment. Me, myself, and I.
Oh, big dog. Oh, you big dog now.
You need to come home and not pay rent after this.
Wait, was that an ask or was that a statement?
I mean, I don't think it really is an ask. I know you want me to come home. But
Anywho, we wanted to interview you about being a young 20-something, especially in college, because we've had a lot of people, ask, kind of what's your life like? And we've had a lot of people ask in our macronutrition coaching certification if they should coach people that are 18, 20, 21. What would that be like? What's too young? What things should we focus on? And I was like, what better not to have a interview with somebody like you that can kind of tell everybody, like,
yes,
what the deal is. But if you guys also want to know about her point of view or perspective growing up with parents that became fit, we have a podcast on that, so you can kind of catch up. But yeah, start off telling us, like, what's your routine for exercise? Let's start there.
So I am rather busy with my STEM classes that put me through stress. But when I do have the time, balance out with work and school, it will be a good week if I can get to the gym 4. It's a really good week if I can get to the gym 5 times, which is definitely a struggle, even though I do have a gym in my apartment. It's not a very good gym, but it is a gym. It works. It gets the job done. Just because typically I am a person who likes to take early classes. They're not that early this semester, but like, for example, last semester I had an 8 a.m. and obviously I'm not going to be getting up before the 8 a.m. and working out, nor any other teenager probably would every night. That'd be crazy. But yeah, so as balance out with my work schedule, I try to get in 4 to 5 if I can. Usually they don't really go much longer than an hour and a half. Sometimes it's really only 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what I have time for and what I'm feeling up for. But yeah, I kind of just stick to the push-pull legs kind of split and then do 1 cardio day if I can. But I also do walk a lot at work and campus. I walk a lot because we have a very large campus. But at work, typically I work 3 to 4 days a week. Sometimes more depending on the week, obviously, but I'll get at least 10,000 steps a day, even when I don't work out. So pretty active.
Let's go back to the
activity.
Let's go back to the lifting, because babe, I see your head bob. Let's go back to the lifting because she said it really quickly. You were like push pull legs.
Sorry, yeah.
What does that mean? Because there's some people that don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Which I am even more proud as a parent that you even said that. Because
Yeah.
I know you know how to program workouts, but what is push pull legs?
So push pull legs is just I feel like it's the most basic split you can get when you are working out, when you're first starting weightlifting. At least in my opinion, it's really easy to follow because it's like the same kind of, the muscle groups work together that way. So push is chest, triceps, and shoulders. And then pull is just back and biceps.
So
and
pulling
then
towards your body.
Yes. So push, pull, a good way to remember it. And then legs, I will typically do full legs both days, just depending on what I have time for. But you can break it up into like glutes based and then hamstrings and things like that. But I just kind of do full leg days based off what time I have really that week.
How'd you learn to lift?
Well, you guys started lifting, and I was a senior in high school during quarantine. And so I saw you guys lifting, and I was kind of like, what's the word for it? I'm really stubborn. I saw you guys doing it, so I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to ask you guys how to do it because I'm stubborn and I want to do everything on my own. So I kind of started following influencers, and then I would look at your guys' stuff and not tell you. And I would do them in the workout room myself. And eventually I progressed into the gym, and then I would learn how to do new things on my own. And then I would ask you guys to be like, is this right? Is this form correct? Get mad at you guys if you correct me too much, and then do my own thing. So I did learn from them as much as I learned from other people, but I would never say that. I would never say that when I was younger. So
it was all good.
I wanted to do my own thing. I like to be independent. I didn't want you guys to tell me to do it, or I didn't want you guys to like control it. I wanted to be in control of it myself.
And that's cool because we didn't want to push you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that you guys are athletes and you're strong and you know how to lift, you know how to eat well and whatever because we made you.
Yeah.
We more of like let y'all decide, but we gave you basic pointers, but like you guys did what you wanted.
I feel like
go ahead.
I feel like obviously in high school I did track mostly, but I did play basketball for a little bit, and those both require you to go to the weight room. So we went to the weight room 2 to 3 times a week for those. But like, when you're in the weight room for like sports and there's so much going around, you don't usually take it as seriously as you should. So I knew some things, but I didn't know what stuff was called. I didn't know how like muscles works and things like muscle groups work together and stuff like that. So it was kind of like playtime. You didn't really take the lifting as seriously as we should have because you practice before and then you lift. But I did have some experience of like squatting and things like that and like cleaning, but I don't clean anymore. Only in high school.
Yeah, the power clean usually is one of the first ones to go.
Yeah.
But that also goes to show that anybody can learn to lift too, because you learned a lot from social media.
I literally learned a lot from social media. I used to like hide in the workout room so you guys wouldn't know that I was lifting in there.
You used to get frustrated when I remember when I would come in and try to help you when you were in there. You used to get frustrated and then like put me out. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get out my own gym.
Yeah, I would get mad when they opened the door and they saw me lifting. I used to hide.
How much can you squat now?
I don't know. I haven't maxed out in so long. My apartment gym does not have a regular squat rack. They only have a Smith machine. I'm a Smith machine hater. But I could probably squat 200 pounds pretty easily. I don't squat. I don't back squat as much as I should anymore.
200 pounds is almost twice your body weight. So
it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's probably my max.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you eat?
A lot of things.
Yeah.
What's like your typical day?
Yeah.
What's a typical day? How would you make your plate?
My roommates are gonna clown me. I'm a cereal, rice, and salmon maker.
Yes, she is.
I'm gonna make the salmon. I don't get salmon out to eat much anymore. But
Shrimp.
salmon is so easy to cook as a college student. I can put it in the air fryer, and it's not, you can't really mess up salmon. So like chicken, you can. I've never messed up salmon. I don't know if you can, but I'm assuming you can't because I haven't. I don't like cooking chicken. I like chicken. I don't like the process of cooking chicken. So when I do eat chicken, I buy the package like grilled chicken strips. And just because I don't eat them all at one time, and if it's already cooked, I have less of like a time limit to, I feel like, to eat them. So it just stays fresher longer, in my opinion. And I don't like cooking all the chicken at once because it's dry, nasty.
That's
so
my daughter.
I'll take grilled chicken strips and I'll put them in the pan with a little bit of oil and butter and season them up a little better, and make like rice and chicken and broccoli or whatever. It's usually broccoli. Vegetable that I have around. Saute the broccoli, put any kind of sauce on it. Really nice. I like fettuccine and salmon. These are like my fixations I've been having lately.
Poke bowls.
Oh, I love poke bowls. That's like eating out, like cooking wise. Or then I love avocado toast. I have that a lot. Eggs, egg whites.
What else for breakfast?
Sometimes I like the mini muffins. That's not healthy, but those are so good. Yeah, mostly eggs, egg whites. I'll get like for snacks at school and stuff, or if I don't have time to eat breakfast because I missed that alarm. Cliff bars, nutrition, like Nutri-Grain bars. Those are really good and sweet. Just like I feel like I make normal things, or I pick normal things to eat. I just still make them a little bit healthier. Then I don't add like a ton of butter and everything else when I make like pastas and things like that. I mean, I always have rice. I can't tell you, I eat rice like 6 days a week. I eat rice a lot.
What do you eat when you eat out?
Chipotle. Chipotle. It depends where we're going. I typically don't eat out a lot. I will opt out to not eat out a lot when my friends do. Sometimes I'll just go and get a small appetizer, but I like to eat wings.
It's your daddy child.
Yeah. Wings we eat. We love hibachi. Hibachi, and I like that hibachi also has vegetables and it's protein and carbs, so it's not like, it doesn't seem as unhealthy to me, even though it's a lot of sodium and the soy sauce and stuff. But stuff like that. I don't eat out a lot, honestly, and when I do, I don't think it's really that bad. Like frequently, I'm trying to think of places that I've eaten at recently. I had Panda Express.
What do you pick for snacks?
Snack wise, I said this the other day, but I need to stop. I buy a lot of ready. Hold on, let me think about how to say this. I buy a lot of foods that I have to cook. I don't buy a lot of stuff that is ready. So then it makes me have to make food, and sometimes I don't have the time for that. So I need to be a little bit better about picking out snacks. But when I do pick out snacks, I pick stuff like a lot of bars, Nutri-Grain bars, Cliff bars, things that are like easy for me to grab. I'm trying to think of what else.
Anything crunchy, salty.
Those crunchy Nature Valley bars.
And you still like those? You grew up with those.
Yeah, those are so.
You should have said that on the
They're
podcast.
so messy. I forgot those. Recently I've had a fixation on those Dots pretzels, the honey mustard ones. I don't know why.
That's
They're
your
so
father's child.
What else? Cheez-Its sometimes. I'm not as much of a Cheez-It lover as I used to be. A lot of crackers. Oh, Triscuits. Triscuits.
She turned me on Triscuits.
Triscuits, Sweet Thins, stuff like that. I'll have like some like sweet bars. I don't know what they're called, but I get them from Aldi, and you probably know. I probably have one in my backpack right now from school. I'm not gonna lie. It's like those little. It's like a dessert bar, but it's like 90 calories. Like little chocolate ones. They have lemon ones. You know what I'm talking about? Those. I get those from Aldi. I'm trying to think what else. Snack wise, water, orange juice. My fixations have been orange juice. Shout out to one of my roommates. They know which one. She drinks orange juice so much. Orange juice, I really liked cranberry juice, and then mostly water. As far as like caffeine, I do like to drink a Alani's whenever I'm at work. I do
Mhm.
have a thing for energy drinks and coffee, but I drink energy drinks way more than I drink coffee because coffee is expensive, more expensive.
Mm-hmm. Do you track your food?
No,
Have you ever tracked?
for like maybe a month.
Mhm.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
how do you know how much to put on your plate? What makes you decide?
I just look at it. I just eyeball it. I kind of know. Like I used to measure things a lot more, but now I can just eyeball it and tell like what I need, I guess. So like rice, like I have a mini rice cooker, so I don't only so much fits in it. I'll cook a little bit more than half a cup, maybe like I don't know how much that is honestly because I eyeball it, but I'll start with half a cup of rice,
Mm-hmm.
put it in, and then I'll sprinkle some more because I know I need more.
Mm-hmm.
And then broccoli, I'll pick like a handful out and then I'll just add a few more pieces. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I pick. And then salmon wise, like I'll just eat like one singular slice of salmon or like chicken. I can kind of eyeball everything to know how much I personally will eat and how I know much is too much and like how much would be too much for me to cook for myself for that meal.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just figured it out by cooking similar things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't track anything. I mean, I can't. I can't. Personally, I don't track because I feel like it would put me in a toxic mindset and it's something that I just don't think that I need because I mostly maintain 95% of the time. Okay, not 95, maybe 75% of the time. And then it's not very convenient for me as a college student because I already do so much already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to add more stress to the plate. It's just not something that I personally would choose for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't think it's
Did
a
y'all
healthy
hear
mindset.
that?
I think that's good to hear. Yeah.
I think it's yes. And I mean, my opinion, well, like a lot of people will say, oh, someone that said they want to be coached and they're 16. Nope, registered dietitian. Nope, check with the physician. They're 18. My opinion is I wouldn't want to work with anyone on macro tracking unless they were over 21, but we would probably start with habit stuff, which you do. You normally you have like habits, really good habits.
I think the only thing that I like subconsciously will track, and this means I don't write it down, I don't like keep track of it day to day, anything like that. I will just check for things. I check the protein on a lot of things. Like I said, I love bread, but then at one point I felt like I wasn't eating enough protein. So, and that's like a constant thing for me because I get full really fast. So I'll try to pick things that are higher in protein, things that you don't even like think to check. Like dad put me on a Dave's Killer bread. Now I eat that, and that's 5 grams of protein per slice for every, and I eat toast. So like it's nothing, a lot. So that even helps. And then this stuff is like, it also has like good nutrients in it as well, which is important. So if anything, I'll look at yeah. And if anything, I look at protein and then I will look at calories sometimes depending on what it is in the store. But that doesn't really make or break how I feel about it. Like I eat ramen. I'm a college kid. I love ramen. But like that doesn't make or break how calories doesn't make or break anything for me. Basically, it's more protein kind of based.
I feel like being conscious of it. I feel like that we taught y'all how to read nutritional labels.
Yeah.
As young kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like that made y'all conscious of it. And then it was like, okay, you can still eat it, but at least know how to read the nutrition label and know what's in it. So I remember y'all running around as young as like 8, you know what I'm saying, 7 years old. And y'all be like, oh, this don't have any protein in it. It's 27 carbs or such. I mean, y'all still eat it.
Yeah.
But y'all knew what was in it.
Yeah.
And to me, that was important to give y'all that foundation to know what was in it. And then that way you can make your own choices. And as y'all got older, I think y'all started to look at it a little bit differently.
So I think it just clicked for me right now that literally what she does, because she learned how to read labels, and we would kind of help her build her plate growing up, that she does what we reverse a lot of people who macro track out of, to be intuitive eaters that are
Yeah.
macro conscious.
Mhm.
So because she grew up with better choices, still midline, some good, some bad, whatever. No food's bad, all foods can fit, but junk food processed.
Yeah.
Because you had that, and we were always like, make sure there's a veggie on your plate. Gotta have a protein and a carb, and you know the labels. You can manage your weight without tracking.
Yeah.
You intuitively eat.
Yeah.
Do you think sometimes you pick foods based off how you feel?
100%.
Yeah.
I would definitely pick foods based off how I feel. Like even when I grocery shop, like I'll 95, maybe not 95 because I am a college student and groceries are expensive. I would say 80% of the things I put in my cart are clean and pretty clean, pretty not like junk foody kind of things. And then I'll go back and get like one or two things. Like juice, like that's a treat. I don't always get that. But like I will make room for it because I like juice. Or like what's something else that I get that's like a treat? Like if I get fruit snacks, that's like my sweet thing that I know I'm gonna eat. Like I know I'll probably eat a pack a day. And that's like my sweet thing to like curb like kind of sweetness because I know I'm going to get a craving for it. Or like I'm trying to think of anything else. I've had true fruit before, but it's a little expensive. But things like that. Or like even a lot of the times if I don't even get anything sweet, I always have fruit. Ask my roommates, it's always strawberries, and when mangoes are in season, it's always mangoes, and you guys know that.
A mango, we got it.
Yeah.
So I always have those two. One or the other, they're pretty interchangeable, and those are pretty like sweet things for me. And that like I will literally wait until I eat like the chicken, rice, salmon, whatever, fettuccine, whatever I'm eating. I make like buffalo chicken wraps and stuff like that too. Those are really good. Tacos, stuff like that. Or like quesadillas, ground beef and just literally ground beef and cheese. I make those a lot. I had a fixation on that. But I'll literally wait until I finish that meal and then I'll go back and cut up strawberries and be like, okay, this is like my desserts. This is my treat because it's sweet. Or like my juice, whichever.
Let me ask you a question. It's a question that I get all the time, so I'm gonna ask you now. Do you feel like that you're missing out on life or things in life because of the way that you choose to eat?
No, definitely not. Because I still go out to eat with my friends. Like I still go and I still order whatever I want. Like I think literally last week we went to BJ's and we got Pizookies. Like I don't limit myself. I don't like go, oh, I can't have that because I eat like this or whatever. Like I'm gonna go regardless. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have a good time, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. But just because I'm going doesn't mean I have to make bad choices or choices that I know that I don't want. Like I'm not gonna go get a Pizookie if I don't want to have one, but I can still go and like be with my friends. So I don't think I'm missing out in any way. And I don't think that I necessarily have friends that will pressure me into having something if I don't want to. If you do, those aren't your friends. But yeah, I don't think I miss out or anything. And as far as like, I don't know if I'm outside. I'm 21, so it doesn't really matter. But as far as drinking and things like that, I don't indulge in those type of activities very frequently. And even if I do, it's not anything close to probably what's considered normal
for your age.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. And you just led us into our next topic of conversation.
I'm so good at this.
Yeah, hey, you are. You must be a natural or something. All right. So we wanted to talk about struggles as a college student. One of those struggles has to be peer pressure, which you just talked about. So talk a little bit about peer pressure and how that's been, and how you deal with that with your lifestyle choices.
Peer pressure. Okay. Yes, you will experience some peer pressure as someone going into college. And my first recommendation is if somebody's peer pressuring you into something you said you already don't want to do, those are not your friends. Just friend wise, like they shouldn't be pushing you to do anything that you don't want to do. Like as far as it goes to like going out, drinking, things like that, like things that don't align with the habits that you want to have. And I'm not saying you have to be 100% strict on things like that because like I said, I do go out with my friends and we go get treats and things. We go to Cane's after we go out, like stuff like that. Goodfellas, anything. Like we get treats. It's not like you don't have to limit yourself and not have fun, but there is a point where you have to be like, okay, I don't need 4, 5, 6 drinks tonight. Like you can have 1 to 2 and have just be perfectly fine. I'm not a big drinker. So I can't personally say that I've experienced like drinking, like strong drinking habits, but I know a lot of people are affected by that. And they do fall into peer pressure and they go out like $2 Tuesdays, $3 Thursdays. That's like a big thing around college towns. So they go out Tuesday,
Cheap
Thursday,
liquor.
Friday, Saturday, and yeah, it's all very cheap, so it's never gonna make you feel good. But speaking of that, that is the freshman 15. That is the whole freshman 15. It's alcohol. It's not food. Very small amounts of time it is food, or like people not knowing how to cook for themselves when they leave and eating out. A lot of people do actually eat out every day. I didn't know that. Newsflash to me, a lot of people actually in college do eat out every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I think I eat out. It depends, but I would say I don't eat out more than once a week.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to pause her right here. So she said freshman 15 are those things.
Mhm.
I also have to pause for you guys listening that are not 21. But the number one reason why people are overweight or unhealthy is typically alcohol and lifestyle. So the things that she is saying, they continue on into 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Freshman 15 usually is not just the food, it's the alcohol and people eating out every day. If you eat 80% of your meals at home, you'll probably lose weight. You'll probably gravitate toward a healthier weight.
I
It's
really
the same
think
problems.
75% of it is the alcohol, because I feel like a lot of people forget that when you're getting these drinks, they're mixed drinks. A lot of it is not the alcohol. It's like juice and other things, like what do they put? Guava juice and stuff like that, like super sweet stuff, like
simple
sugar,
syrup.
pure
It's so natural.
sugars. It's pure sugar, and you're getting these mixed drinks, and yeah, they taste good, but they are also probably just as bad as getting Starbucks Frappuccino, 3 of them back to back to back, and it's poison. It's not gonna be good for you. Like
we don't tell her this stuff, y'all. She's telling y'all this alcohol is fucking y'all up.
Bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
In a bad way, leaving y'all in a bad freaking
like
way.
I have friends that I have met sophomore year before we're legally being able to drink. Senior year, I see them and they're like 20 pounds heavier, and it's purely because of the alcohol. Like I see people on Snapchat, Instagram, they go out frequently. I'm not saying don't go out. I'm saying moderation. They go out all the time, multiple times a week, and that's what leads to weight gain a lot of the times. It's people not being able to kind of have things in moderation and control themselves. So the biggest thing is self-control, and be true to yourself. Do not let other people tell you what you should be doing, because you know yourself best. So like, even if I do go out sometimes with my friends, I choose not to drink or I will literally have 1 drink. Just because 1, I'm not a big drinker. 2, budget wise, drinking in college is very expensive. And people seem to forget about that sometimes and just spend $60 at the bar.
And then probably don't eat meals, right? They just drink.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford groceries.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the biggest thing about peer pressure. I think you have to be very strong-minded. It's definitely not easy, because I've definitely let myself get peer pressured into certain situations that I didn't necessarily want to be there or do things, or like go out. But you kind of just have to be strong-minded and pick the right friends, because if they're your real friends and they will respect that you don't want to go out as much as they might want to, or they're not going to make you feel bad or like exile you from the group because you didn't want to go out. So,
well, let me ask you this. College has changed a lot for all of us listening that are in our 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
But do you feel like on your campus is it accessible, like healthy foods? Do you have access to it?
So, as far as meals and things go for school, I was a COVID during freshman year. of high school. So that would have been going 2020, 2021. That was my freshman year. So all of our meals and Grubhub things were online. Honestly, there wasn't a lot of fresh options, and even if you did pick these so-called fresh options, they were like a fruit cup. Like it wasn't great, but I think now we've kind of improved. So like if you go into like we call them C stores on my campus, there's like little mini grocery stores, gas stations, whatever. You can get like little sandwiches and salads and Fairlife. They have Fairlife and body armors and things like that, like a bunch of things. So I feel like it is accessible, and we have actually have a place on campus that's called like the Mix. It's literally all salads, like just big salads. They're huge.
So if you want to,
Yeah,
it's there.
it's there. It's definitely there. It's not always the best food on campus. Like obviously, I mean, it varies campus to campus, but it's there. And I guess location wise on my campus, I don't know if every campus is like this. As soon as you walk off campus, you're on like a main street, and that's where like all the food in the bars are. But I don't know if I would consider those like as much healthy as I would say campus could be, I guess. But there are options. There are other options for sure.
You feel like you can eat? Do you feel like you can eat healthier on your budget?
Like eating out wise or like groceries,
yeah. Like as your age.
I think it's definitely a choice you have to make. I think you have to consciously make that choice because I don't spend money on eating out, so I have money to buy the leaner options of things, and I have the option to buy more fruits and stuff because like obviously now like fruits and things have gone up more than they were recently and things like that. But I feel like almost that the processed things tend to be more expensive now than the fresh things.
Oh yeah.
So you just have to consciously make those kind of choices and those decisions yourself. Does depend on budget, but the options are there. They're not as expensive as you think they are. The only thing that has really puts a dent in the budget sometimes are proteins, like fresh proteins. So like chicken, salmon, stuff like that. It's all the time. But those are the biggest, most expensive things. And honestly, you can pick the smaller packages and keep it pushing.
I think overall to eat healthier whole foods is cheaper.
Yeah.
Because you'll also probably eat out less. Yeah. And I think a lot of the processed foods have went up. There's things I saw in the freezer. I was like, this costs this much now?
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
And I feel like when I pick fresh things, like I'll get like spinach for my salads and carrots and strawberries and stuff like that. It forces me to eat them first because I know that if I don't, they're gonna go bad and I'm gonna waste money and I don't have money to waste. So let me just eat this now and I can eat out later if I really need to. But yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I feel like either you'll find a way or you'll make an excuse. And like you said, it really comes out. People always say it's more expensive to eat healthier. But if you're eating out all the time, it's really costing you more to eat out than it would be to go grocery shopping and prepare your food at home in a healthier option if you're picking whole food. So, but where do you shop?
So I'm a little picky sometimes. So I shop at two places mainly. I shop at Walmart, but it's never my first stop. Aldi is always my first stop because the protein is cheaper and things like that. And so I'll get mostly protein stuff there. I'll get everything from Aldi that I can. And then like snack wise and sometimes produce wise, just depending on like the seasons and stuff. I'll get other stuff from Walmart.
Aldi got that good meat too.
Yeah.
Got that Kroger meat.
We go to Aldi too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the hack. Get your meat from Aldi.
Yeah.
It's way cheaper.
I mean, it's clean in there. Please. Y'all go to Aldi.
They got that good meat.
Take your bags, get your quarter.
I'll give my quarter.
So now that we know like how you eat, what's available, all of the people around you, what they're doing, and mostly. Yeah. I want to go back to tracking because you mentioned like you tracked for what, less than a month?
Yeah.
And I just want people to know when they're like, oh, my daughter, can you help her track macros? Or like coaches are like, yeah, they're 19. And I'm like, well, maybe we should start with like habits. But you mentioned like it may give you a bad relationship.
Yeah, 100%. This is kind of something that I stand by as long as like high school to college, no matter what anyone tells you when you're a young girl growing up, I think it's best to stay away from tracking because you're going to college, your body's changing, your weight's fluctuating, you're like, you go through like second puberty, that's a big thing. You see a lot of different things and you compare yourself to a lot of people. Second puberty,
Yeah.
you're a man. That's not, you don't know about that. Second puberty is when you kind of just like, to clarify for all the men listening, I guess it's like you kind of just put on a little bit more weight. You become more womanly, I guess. They say it happens between your like, I don't know, like 21, 24 kind of age, maybe a little bit younger. It depends. It kind of just depends. It's like puberty. It depends. But you kind of just carry a little bit of extra weight. You're kind of filling out, you know, you might not be as lean as you were in high school. And I think that's a big thing. People want to be the same way that they weren't in high school. I'm definitely not the same way that I was in high school.
And these 40-year-old women
No.
y'all not gonna be the same way as high
Yeah.
school either.
I'm not gonna weigh 100 pounds like I did in high school. Like it's different. You are different. You're older. Your body's different. You are not going to be the same. And I feel like when a lot of people track, they think that they're going to get back to whatever weight they were in high school. This isn't high school. This is college. This is your real life. You're growing. Like you don't have the same habits. You're not eating the same thing. You're not eating lunch at 10 a.m. like you do in high school. It's different. And I just think that it's very hard to be able to look at other people on campus. Like even I struggle with it. I'll look at somebody and I'll be like, oh, wow, she's really skinny. Like I'm not that skinny or whatever. Like these are conscious thoughts you think as a girl when you're going through puberty. It's just not a healthy mindset for me. And I think it can really easily become something else. And so it's just good for me personally to stay away from it. But I also don't really recommend it to anybody else just because you have enough stress. You have enough stress in college. It's not something else you need to put on your plate.
Yeah,
that's just how
that's
I
good
feel about it.
advice.
I tell all my friends that I don't think anyone should track. I've had one of my friends ask me. I've had a few of my friends ask me about it. I don't track. I tell them not to. I don't think it's something that I would recommend to anyone my age.
Yeah. There y'all go. So have you had friends that have wanted to get a little healthier? Have you like
yes.
What kind of tips do you give them?
I don't give anybody like my exact workout splits, like exactly what I do, because everybody's different. My friends are taller than me, different builds. They're all taller than me. Different builds, different things, but like I'll give them, like I'll tell them, okay, like try this. If you want to like lift weights, do push pull legs. That's what I like to do. And then do like a little cardio day. If you're trying to like lean out, do some more cardio, do this. Like these are some exercises I like. But there's also these ones that I don't like, but you might like them. And I'll be like, okay, well, are you trying to gain muscle or are you trying to get leaner? So like hypertrophy versus like endurance, like more reps, low reps. Like I talk to them about like that kind of stuff. But I don't really give anybody exactly what I do because everyone's different. You can't do the same things as me. And also everyone's built different. So people might not like the things that I do because they have bad knees or something or anything like that. Like no one's the same. And I kind of try to remind people of that because I have had situations where I have tried to help my friends and then I can't give them exactly what I do. And I don't want to be like, this is going to guarantee for you to lose weight. This is what I do. This is what I do. I know this is what works for me. I don't know what works for you. You're going to have to kind of figure it out. So you can give somebody advice, but you can't give them everything. Yeah. They have to work the other way. And I think that's hard in college, learning like something new in college when you haven't already had that. It's definitely something you have to work at. It's not like an instant thing. I think people tend to forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
With food, where would you?
Yeah, make a drink.
Yeah.
With food, what would you tell some of your friends to do? And we can walk through like in more detail what you would do for you, but what would be like a tip to get started with food?
Started? just being a little healthier, you know. This is how I would be like protein, carb, veggie, every meal. Point blank period. That's just it. That will do so much for you. Just so much.
Anybody listen to this podcast
That's
can do
gold.
that. I
That's
don't
gold.
everybody thinks it
Yeah.
has to be so fancy, but that's how most of our meals are.
If I don't know what to eat, start with the carb. It's literally always rice. Sometimes it's pasta. It's always rice. It's always rice. I pick my protein: salmon, chicken, shrimp. That's usually the core 3 that I can get for the cheapest. Ground beef. I've done ground beef too. Vegetable. It's usually, I've had asparagus sometimes, but that has to be usually fresh for me to like it. Broccoli, asparagus, edamame. Those are like the go-to.
Mhm.
That's the meal. That's it. That's easy. It's so easy.
But most people are not eating foods that they made.
And go on Google, saute it, make it right, make it taste good, put some seasonings on it.
Well,
People are like, I don't like the way it tastes. You can make it taste different.
It's just an excuse.
That's it.
Put some sauce on it.
it's how
You would be
cook it.
better
Mhm.
making protein, carb, veggie, and put barbecue sauce all over it than going to, Applebee's or wherever.
And
right?
don't be afraid to learn from other people. Like my roommates, some of my roommates, they can cook better than me.
Mhm.
So, or like someone knows how to season better than me. Someone knows how to cook this better than me. Ask for help. I ask for help.
Mhm.
We all cook. We relatively all cook at the same time. So like we'll be using all 4 eyes. Let's get hot in there.
Mhm.
Using all 4 eyes. I'm like, should I use this? You think this is good?
Mhm.
We all work together
Mhm.
a lot of
Sounds good.
times. So
Yeah.
So let's say you were trying to lean out a little bit. Like, I know you don't weigh yourself a lot. When you come home, you weigh out.
Yeah.
You'll get on the scale and be like, I wonder if I gained any weight. And it'll be this little joke, But let's say like I know you use your clothes as a measure. Let's say your like pants are getting tighter.
mhm.
And you've been like having a little fun, you're going out to eat more, having dinners with your friends, having like, Pazookies. Pazookies are like 1,200 calories, y'all.
Ugh.
If you were wanting to lean out as a 21-year-old who does not track, what would you do?
My biggest thing is I do cardio. I didn't do it today, so I was bad today. But I do the cardio. I try to walk. I try to make myself walk for at least 10 minutes after I work out, just to like, stretch out my muscles a little bit, especially when I do like stretch out my muscles, like make sure I'm walking a little bit at least, because within 10 minutes, if you're walking on a certain speed, you can get at least half a mile. Like that's something. So if I was going to lean out or like try to lean out, I would just increase my cardio afterwards. So instead of doing 10 to 15, I'd probably try to do 20 to 30 when I have that time, obviously, but it's literally just walking uphill, incline on, or the Stairmaster sometimes. I don't last very long on the Stairmaster, can't lie. Need to get my cardio up a little bit more. Sometimes I do sprints, but not super frequently. Walking is definitely the easier option, but if I only have like a little bit of time and I'm trying to get back in running shape, I'll do sprints. Just a minute on, or not a minute on, maybe like 30 seconds on, a minute off. Just depends how fast you're going. But yeah, it's pretty simple.
Calorie deficit through moving your body.
Yeah.
Do you change anything with your food?
I don't really change anything with my food. I will just be more conscious of my little snacks and things, I guess. So like, I don't even buy ice cream, honestly. I was gonna say not have ice cream, but I don't even really buy ice cream because I'm lactose intolerant. But like, I'll be conscious of like maybe like coffees and things like that, because I have those things sometimes, or like sometimes I'll have an Alani over a Red Bull, and Red Bulls have a lot of calories and things in them.
Just so you guys know, she doesn't do a lot of sugar-free things. Like when you have a coffee, you have real
I don't have like sugar-free syrup.
You have a real macchiato.
Yeah. Like I've had sugar-free Red Bull. That's fine, but like I will usually opt for different like drinks and things, or I just will try not to eat out. And that's not very hard for me to not eat out unless I'm having like the worst day ever and I'm rushing. I didn't get anything done.
But it's because you've already practiced eating and cooking for yourself at home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to spend money.
And that's enough.
Okay.
And that's enough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It cuts you.
Yeah.
That cuts you down by itself. And that, I mean, when you got a metabolism of a 21-year-old, that's why you shouldn't be doing all that
Yeah.
crazy diet
Yeah.
and stuff. Like you can just cut those small things out and boom.
Yeah, stop dieting. Oh my gosh, stop doing keto. Stop thinking that works. It doesn't.
Yes,
I've heard
I
that.
really wanted you to touch on the food thing too, because
God.
you don't cut out carbs.
No, I
Yeah.
love carbs. That's great. It's
She's-
energy.
Man, she got me eating all this bread now.
Oh, bread, like toast, fancy bread. That's what I call it. Fancy bread is like
Loaves with cheese and jalapenos in it.
so good.
Focaccia with tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
People always think that I'm playing. Like, no, that's
See,
the
man,
that's the
bread
truth.
is gone.
Yeah.
I love garlic bread earlier this week. Gone.
Yeah.
So she just does habit stuff. She just moves her body, you guys. And this can work for a lot of people. And the more you diet, the harder it is to cut as you get older, because we're not going through periods of what she does, and she just maintains her weight by eating enough food to maintain.
And I think it's important to remember, this is also for the college girls. You're leaner in the summer. Your body is naturally leaner in the summer. You're not gonna weigh the same exact pound down to the last digit in the winter. I feel like that's like not something that people talk about very often. Your body, I feel like your body's made to carry more weight, especially like in the winter. Staying warm. Also, sorry, Dad, but when you're closer to your cycle, you do gain a few pounds. It's okay, it's normal. Sometimes I forget about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, why is that? Like, what is happening? Why are my pants so tight?
Hey, you gotta apologize to me. I gotta remind your mother sometimes.
Yeah. I'll text my boyfriend and be like, oh my God, I feel fat this morning. And I'm like, oh, well, that's why. I'm okay. Everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Don't be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. Remember that weight fluctuates and it's normal for your weight to fluctuate. Also, when you said about me not weighing myself, I only weigh myself when I come home. I don't own a scale because it would lead to toxic tendencies. So
And she doesn't mean when she go home to her apartment. She means when she comes home.
yeah, when I fly
home.
when I fly home to see my parents, I weigh myself. So what? 4 or 5 times a year. I don't weigh myself very much.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can take a lot of notes from this 21-year-old, y'all. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
What do y'all think? And it's not to say that someone in their 20s can't work with a nutrition coach for accountability, someone to program their workouts, but there's ways to do it without tracking.
I'll let y'all know when I start my influencer page.
Hey,
That girl good.
now enrolling 20-somethings, habits, lifestyle, and
We're gonna have a
muscles.
therapy session.
Get your games on, bitches.
Something
Sorry,
coming.
my bad.
Something coming.
Ooh, what's coming?
Okay.
We're gonna let that. We're gonna hold that.
Oh, what's coming?
Well, I
Hold that.
appreciate that you were on here today and you were honest and you talked about
I'm very
all of the things a
honest.
lot of people your age don't want to talk about, but I think it's really insightful for people your age, people in their 30s, their 40s, 50s, and beyond. And I think we can really take note from someone that really lives their life in moderation.
Yeah.
And you know how healthy you are, and you got muscles, girl. So, and you can squat 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Very
But
honest.
I appreciate you sharing and divulging all your nutrition and fitness.
All my dirty secrets about me going out and being a bad kid. No, I'm kidding. You guys know every time I go out.
No, it was good having you. It was good having you. I'm sure everybody else enjoys you as well. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you guys for listening. And we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and also download. We'll holler at y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to our podcast today. Make sure you like, share, and tag us on Instagram. Also, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes. In the meantime, be healthy and get wealthy.